All right. AFTV 5-0 to the Arsenal. Big stories all along. Let me start with it. Victor Gyökeres off the mark.
Yeah, look, you absolutely need that. I think one of the things that would have obviously been playing on his mind and obviously is playing on Arsenal fans' mind as well as rival fans' mind is this whole 007 thing that we seem to have adopted. And obviously he hasn't hit that, so they can look somewhere else to try and find mockeries because they're not going to find it here because what we saw today was a brace from a centre-forward that's been brought in to score goals and he's done it today. And
the first goal was a great goal. I mean, he made it all himself, pace, power, his skill, he had everything that goal.
Yeah, it was reminiscent of the sort of goal that he'd score in Portugal that everyone kept telling us that he wasn't going to get an opportunity to score when he came here, which to me is really telling. I thought the keeper was quite poor on that one, if I'm honest. But
I think he kind of done him with the eyes though, innit? He made it look like he was going to go the other way.
Yeah, you probably thought he was going to go far corner, and he's gone there. But then again, that's a sign of that quality of centre forward. And fundamentally, the ball's ended up in the back of the net, and that's what we pay him for. So that would have been good for him today. I think today, the sort of game with a newly promoted side, first home game of the season, everything about today was just set up absolutely perfectly. The whole week that we've had, the level of jubilation that we've experienced as a fan base this week, seeing Eze brought out before the game, knowing that Gyökeres was going to play today. Havertz not been on the bench, meaning that he was likely to get his 90. He got the full 90. We saw the penalty at the end. So again, we saw both sides of him. That's really fascinating to me. I think what's also really important is I think over the two games that we've played, we've seen two very different sides of Arsenal. And I think over the course of the season, we're going to have to see those. Last week was dogged. We had to dig in. We had to do the dirty stuff. Today we got an opportunity to get our foot on the ball and play. And I think what we've shown inside is that we can do both. Yeah. If you want us to sit in and defend and make it difficult for you, we can do that and we can score. And if you're going to give us the ball, we can dominate you and we can really, really, really hurt you because we've got players that will do so. Didn't see Marino on the field today, didn't see Martinelli on the field today. And those are players that we know in big games can come in and do big things.
Squad is looking good, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, it is. And it's funny because obviously, you're hearing the rumours about the challenges and the issues that they're having over at Nottingham Forest, and thinking about who's gone over there, and Tottenham aren't able to get deals over the line, and you think about who's gone in over there to go and do deals, and and those are two people that had really prominent parts to play in our transfer windows over the past few seasons, and we're now seeing we've got someone in. I still think people are being a little bit harsh on Arteta. I think the whole, he's got to do, I think what we've given him now is the tools to go and do it. So now what we want to go and see is what we.
That's why they're saying it, isn't it?
And I get that, but I'm not hearing that sort of pressure on other sides. I look at the money that Guardiola spent, and after last week, everyone.
I think it's because he's done it before in the past.
I get it, but they played a really poor Leeds side last week. And this whole week, everyone's been singing their praises, and we kind of know what sort of poor side they were. We saw today that they're probably a little bit more limited than people want to give them credit for. And like I said, what I think I've seen from us is a degree of flexibility in terms of last week we had to play a particular way. We did. We got the result. 2 games, 2 clean sheets. Your centre forward's got 2 goals. A raft of goal scorers, so we're showing that we've got goals that we can kind of spread across the team, and then you're able to give a debut to a 15-year-old who can come on in front of in this sort of environment, and you can make it ideal for them. When we saw Waneri come on in that game against Bournemouth, there were lots of talk from lots of pundits about it's all about our like these players are coming in and they're showing that they've got the quality. And actually, the challenge that Arteta's got is trying to hold them back because, he's the sort of player that you want to give minutes to, you want to give moments to, because they've come out and they've warranted them. So it's positive. It's really, really, really positive.
Yeah. You're man in the match today.
Look, I think you could probably got to lean towards Gyökeres. I thought Zubimendi had a really solid game in the middle of the park. I think Gyökeres. But what you're seeing is performances all over the field. Even though he had a really short cameo, Dalman's come on and in 5, 6, 7 games maybe he's won 3 penalties. Like that doesn't go unnoticed, and they're not penalties that he's going in and he's beating seasoned pros and leaving them no option but to take him down or force him to cut back for to Gyökeres or a Saka or whoever for almost an empty net. So really positive. We've got a massive game next week, and I think Liverpool will probably have half an eye on that game next week when they're playing their game on Monday night. And I think that's going to help us. I think we go into that game full of confidence, knowing really well that whoever you put on in terms of the starting 11, whoever you have in terms of the bench, can all come on and impact and affect the game. It's probably the strongest that we've seen it in years. And credit goes to Arteta for identifying the players. Credit goes to Berta for getting the players over the line. Credit goes to the Kroenkes for backing the manager. And if you bring a sporting director in, you've got to back him to go and do the job that you're asking him to do. And he's gone and done that. Okay. And Eze's going to be looking at that this week, absolutely foaming. And we're looking at that now. Difficult to lose Odegaard, possibly difficult to lose Saka, but knowing that you've got a player like Eze coming in next week to fill one of those voids, really positive.